What's up everybody, and welcome back to Miami Total Football. It's the day after Inter Miami suffered its latest setback in the push for a playoff spot. The team lost 1-0 to the Portland Timbers in pretty controversial fashion. Now Inter Miami goes down late in this one. In the game it was pretty competitive in. Same old story though. Defense played mostly well. The attack largely left something to be desired, but they competed well until they gave up a goal off of a set piece in the 83rd minute. Jagoslav Niazgoda scores a header off of Sebastian Blanco corner kick, but Inter Miami struck back just 3 minutes later with what looked to be an equalizer from Julian Carranza. However, head referee Robert Sabiga immediately called for a foul on Carranza, and that negated the goal. And that left Inter Miami, especially head coach Phil Neville, very frustrated after the game, and Neville made no qualms in expressing his displeasure.
I think we'll cut straight to the chase. I thought we were absolutely robbed from a poor refereeing decision. There's too many times I sit here and think, I try and give the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know what these referees are doing during the week. I've got to say, clearly a goal by Julian Carranza. Like I say, I thought the team for their efforts in the last two games. I accepted the decision on Wednesday night, even though it could have gone the other way. I accepted it. I'm not accepting that today. I'm not accepting that because of the efforts of the team. I'm not accepting that because this is a professional league that's one of the toughest in the league to win, and we've got officials that are making such poor decisions like that. And ultimately, I've got to fight and stand up for my team and for my football club. And ultimately, we were robbed of points tonight because of a poor referee decision that isn't just a one-off. I'm seeing it time and time again. I'm frustrated, a little bit emotional, I'm sure. I've seen it 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 or 6 times, and not once did I think it was a foul.
Now, if you ask me for my opinion on the call or on the play, I think it's just a bit of misfortune for Inter Miami because it's a pretty 50-50 play. It's hard to make that instant split-second decision there in live time because Dario Zuparic, from a defender standpoint, very astutely jockeys for position with Julian Carranza. Now, from an attacking standpoint, you could say it's dirty, or maybe not dirty, but it's a bit too handsy, a bit too physical on a play in the box, given that they're fighting for position. But that's what happens in an instant. They're both jockeying for position. Zuparic pulls on Carranza's jersey initially, not a whole lot, but gets a handful, and Carranza then tries to, as a reaction, remove himself or create some space for himself, and he does extend his arms a bit to create that separation, and that's what Sabiga saw, and that's why the foul was called and the goal was negated. So I think it's a bit unfortunate for Inter Miami, a bit of bad luck there, because it could have easily just been called the other way. But again, in that split instant, hard to see, especially with how Zuparic positioned his body and how he made his movements of pulling the shirt. It wasn't an obvious shirt pull, it was more of a subtle one. So tough the one there for Inter Miami.
I've not seen it back at the time. I thought it was very soft. The defenders probably try to be really cute, realises that Julian has got the better side of him.
Now, as for the performance in general, again, it was a lot of the same old thing that we've seen and heard over the last few months. And over the course of the season, if we're being honest, the defense held up well until that moment when they switched off on the set piece and didn't get into position quick enough and weren't concentrated. Defensive lapse there. But the attack still doesn't do enough. It still didn't do enough. It was better than maybe it was against Atlanta United. It created a little bit more with Gonzalo Higuain as the faux 10 and Robbie Robinson playing higher, but it's just still not enough on the day, not enough quality in that final third. And I think a solution for that, or one thing that Inter Miami needs to address, is playing Robbie Robinson up top and Higuain as the 10. I know Higuain has shown a penchant for dropping back this season and looking to pick up the ball, so I get the idea behind Neville's tactics there, but Robbie Robinson just isn't a number 9, and he has shown that not only in these 2 games that he's played there, but in the moments that he's had up top with Inter Miami dating back to last season. He just doesn't have the technical qualities and just doesn't have a left foot either, so he's very limited in what he can do in tight spaces when he's faced up against 2 center backs who are going to mark him physically. I think he needs to go back to being on the wing where it better plays to his strengths, where he's able to use his speed, his explosiveness, his aggressiveness to take on defenders and have room to operate in. If you ask him to play in tighter quarters, I just don't think he has it, and I think we've seen that because the stats show he's had 2 shots combined in the last 2 matches that he's played up top as a number 9, and neither have been on target. He's largely been a non-factor, so I think getting him back out on the wing will better suit him, and it'll better suit Inter Miami, and then it'll help Higuain get back into the box a little bit more. I know he hasn't necessarily always been a player that makes those runs in for one reason or another, but having him in more positions to at least make those runs would give Inter Miami its most deadly finisher, its most clinical scorer in the box on more occasions, and that's something that I think Inter Miami should try to do given the current situation.
I go back to what I see in this league. The big players stand up when it really matters. And that's what we need our big players to do. Ultimately, that's what we need. We need our big players to stand up.
Now, as for that current situation, there's 7 games left in the season, and Inter Miami is 8 points shy of the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Mathematically, Inter Miami is still very much alive, but if you ask me, and you can call me negative or you can call me pessimistic, you can call me whatever you want, but for me, the outlook is pretty grim. I would say the season is all but over for Inter Miami right now because just things don't seem to be pointing in a good direction. I just don't see Inter Miami going on the type of run that is needed to turn this thing around and make this late push to make up the ground on the teams ahead of it and above the playoff line. So we'll see how Inter Miami does. We'll see what Phil Neville does, but things for me just don't have a bright outlook because not only are you not scoring, this is the 12th time that Inter Miami has been held without a goal this season, and they've only scored once in this 4-game losing streak, but you're also going to be missing players. Now, Christian Makoun is off for international duty with Venezuela, and you also lost 3 players to apparent injuries in this game. Nicolas Figal with what looked to be a non-contact injury, Gregory with a concussion scare, and Breck with a knock of his own apparently. So just doesn't look good for a team that's already thin, a team that's up against it. Maybe the adversity can help rally the troops and galvanize the troops, but it's a tough, tall ask for Inter Miami, a team that just doesn't look to really have it and looks to be up against it. So maybe they can surprise us again, but for me, I think the season is all but over.
Is there 7 games left? Yeah, 7 games left. We're going to have to probably win 5, 6 out of our last 7 games. We've done that. We've been on a run like that, but that's the run that we need to go on.
But that about does it for now. What did you think of Inter Miami's 1-0 loss to the Portland Timbers? Are you still fuming about the controversial call, or do you agree with head referee Robert Sabiga that Julian Carranza didn't have enough contact there to extend his arms and head the ball on goal? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know what you thought about the overall performance and the attack's continued struggles. Are you in agreement with me that maybe playing Gonzalo Higuain as the 9 again and having Robbie Robinson on the wing better plays to their strengths and will improve the team's attack, even if only a little bit? Again, let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know what you think about the outlook for the rest of the season. Do you have a bright outlook? Are you still optimistic? Or do you think that, like me, the season is practically done and dusted? We'll be back very soon to preview the next game against the New York Red Bulls, as well as continue to analyze and recap this game against the Portland Timbers. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I am Franco Panizo. This is Miami Total Football, and we'll talk to you guys again very soon.